So here I am, early in the morning, around 4:33 a.m. And I have been playing Black Myth Wukong for about like 4 hours now. And yeah, I want to give my first impression on this game because I feel like I need to do it, or really don't. If even if I don't really need to do it, I wanted to do it anyway because I'm quite sure some of you might want to hear my first impressions about it. But yeah, and here we go. So I kind of feel betrayed. I kind of feel left out. I kind of feel that what game science has done to this game, I don't know what to really call it. I like honestly I don't, because I felt like they just I felt like they just betrayed me. I felt like they lied to me, and I don't know how I feel about it. But I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about Black Myth Wukong, and here it is. So, how I feel about Black Myth Wukong? Well, to be honest, it's a great, fantastic, and amazing game. Oh my god, y'all. Woo! Game science. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I just wish I can just kiss you guys on the forehead or something. Like no like gay stuff or anything else like that. Pause, all that stuff, y'all dudes be saying out here and whatnot. But seriously, man, this game is strictly amazing. Now, I'm not going to spoil it, but I am going to talk about it a little bit. So, if you guys have played or are playing as we speak Black Myth Wukong, then you already know which sections of the game that I'm strictly talking about. And for those who have not picked it up yet or are not playing it, don't worry. I'll keep it safe. I'll keep it safe over here. But anywho, that first cutscene and that first battle, that character that you're fighting up against, the scenery, the music, the epicness. Oh my, chef's kiss. Oh my goodness, this is a very promising game. And this is why when a lot of us agree that DEI and all of this other crap, this sweet baby incorporation or whatever they want to call themselves, nah, sweet baby your ass on up out of here, because nobody needs your help for anything. Screw that. Screw that shit. Yeah, I said it. Screw that shit. Because this game is all of that. I'm talking about characters from the lore, stories. I just finished chapter 1, and it took me some time because I had to fight certain enemies like bosses. They were a bit difficult, but I managed to handle myself by taking my time and taking some patience, and it was amazing. It was all that and grand. God, the combat is just so thrilling. It's just so thrilling. And when you first play it, you probably may stumble a little bit. You'll probably have some issues. You'll probably have some problems, but you'll eventually get to it. You'll get used to the combat. And for certain bosses, now the enemies, they're pretty much going to be weak, but certain of them can pack a punch. But for the number of bosses that are like in the first chapter, I'd say at least a couple of them will be a bit, hard in a sense. But when you start to learn their patterns and their moves, oh, it's a piece of cake. It's like a freaking breeze on the beach. And it's just nothing but white sand and beautiful shores and nothing but women in bikinis and, dogs all out and just running around chasing frisbees and stuff like that. That beautiful type of stuff. Kids building sandcastles. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm truly saying that this game is amazing. That's what I am saying. So, after that first cutscene, that first fight, and whatever, you're going into chapter 1. Then you're going to start playing as the Destined One, and you start off, I would say, very small, but the abilities that you get, the first transformations that you get, so many other things that you get, it's just like, oh my god, this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and I really like the artistical style that they use within this game. And it's just something about like Chinese culture that is just strictly amazing. Because I know a lot of people like Japanese culture. I'm a fan of it too. But like Chinese culture, especially stories like this, one of a kind. Man, I felt like I was watching Journey to the West, like a Journey to the West episode or something like that. Like they just revamped it for a modern audience, especially if it's for like Americans or so. Because I'm quite sure there are a lot of people in China that appreciate this. I heard about the scores down there on IGN, giving it a 10 and whatnot. I'm quite sure a lot of you guys are happy because as a foreigner, as an American, I am happy my damn self. But I gotta say, the combat, the music, the graphics, um, it's just nothing but great. And with that being said, it's just this is the reason why I supported game science in the first place. Like this was the strict reason why I was supporting them in the first place because, like I said before, when I pre-ordered my game, I knew what I was getting myself into. I didn't need help. I didn't need someone to tell me, oh, make sure you don't pre-order these games because something possibly could happen. Now, I understand that there are some issues with the text in the game and they have some bugs here and there, but that really didn't happen for me on my first try. And plus, I'm playing with like English sub and also dub as well. I was going to do it in Chinese, but I felt like if I keep on trying to read and trying to understand, because sometimes like the translations they can go by fast, especially if you watch like me Journey to the West and you read some of the subtitles, they can go very fast and you're trying to pay attention to the show. But I believe even if I were playing it with the Chinese language, dubbed and everything else like that, I'm quite sure I would still enjoy it. But the English is just as good too. This is why I wanted to play in English, because there are certain, and I made a post about this the other day on YouTube on my community's page about there is something about Americans' cadences and voices when it comes to like Japanese games, or in this sense a Chinese game such as Black Myth Wukong or any other game. If you know that the actual language, they're probably speaking something else other than English, but you really have to dub it over in the English voice. And it sounds pretty damn good to me. I've been enjoying myself ever since I turned this on, went straight to the menu, went straight to the settings, configured everything I needed to configure in order to enjoy my pleasure of this game. And I've been having fun since, and it's only really been 4 hours. 4 hours and 43 minutes to be exact. Now I'm on chapter 2. That's where I had stopped because there are a lot of things to explore in the first chapter, and you don't want to really miss anything. Well, if you're just strictly just playing it to like speed run or anything else like that, okay, cool. But I think if you're going to play this 100% or you're just going to play this fully, you might want to explore certain areas, especially in the first chapter, because it will give you items that can help you out in the long run, especially with certain bosses in that first chapter. And I don't think that you should just miss this opportunity. But if you do want to go ahead and play at your own leisure, play how you want to. I can't be the guy to stop you on how you want to play Black Myth Wukong or any video game at that. I'm not no dictator or anything else like that either. So it's just play how you want. But I think you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't go and look for certain things. And the storytelling. I feel like you'll only understand it if you have read the books or watched the show. Of course, many people have said that, but I think even if you don't really know the story like that, I'm quite sure you can just enjoy it very well as it is as a video game, because it's going to tell its own story itself, because this is pretty much events happening after the original story of Journey to the West. And once you start to figure out what's going on as you started playing, and this is for just people who will just start playing it, I don't know, I guess maybe rather some hours later from now or the next day or next week or whatever. That's really how this game is just set up. It's just taking one part of the story originally, but then it's just moving on to like a next chapter or something like that. So events that happened within the last Journey to the West, like the first setting of that story, it's moving past that into something that's brand new. Because even if you see certain characters that you don't notice, or like me or others who notice these characters in Journey to the West, they have their own, conflicts and stories and issues as well as characters that you pretty much don't know really much about. But overall, the bosses I really do like. Yeah, I was getting hammered a lot, but I really did enjoy facing these bosses in my first 4 hours of playing this game. The combat. Uh, what else? What do you really need to say about the combat? It's amazing. The music, the graphics, the vegetation, the shading is just like the shadows when there are just trees and leaves and stuff are just hanging by, and then you just walk across. Even if you play as a Destined One and you kind of like tilt the controller as he's walking, he looks even pretty cool. Even certain boss characters do that as well. They don't strictly go up into your face and, try to kill you and brawl. It's like watching a martial arts like movie, but in a setting where it's like Black Myth Wukong, where there's a lot of fantasy and a lot of Chinese culture involved in it. And it's that amazing. It's that damn amazing. I believe if you don't have it by now, you need to go pick this game up immediately. And this is a guy that's not getting sponsored, not getting paid. I'm not even monetized on this thing. This is one of those games. And perhaps if it is a contender for Game of the Year, I'm all for it. But even if it doesn't win Game of the Year, or if it's not a contender of Game of the Year, I think this game pretty much made a mark in the gaming industry, and people are paying attention. So even if they don't win the award, it's like, well, they marked their territory. What about the rest of you gaming developers? Might want to think about that. But anywho, if you guys enjoyed my first impression, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell for more content in the future. Let me know in the comments section if you are playing this game. How much fun are you having? Are you enjoying it? If you don't have this game by now, do you really want to pick it up, or is it just a pass for you? And yeah, but also, I am recording this, like I said, after my first gameplay, obviously. So me uploading my first episode, I don't know when, but it will be up maybe later on today as I'm recording. And also, I don't know, but the camera, while I was recording, because I had to stop at a certain point, it wasn't on. So if you do watch my gameplay and you notice that the camera is off, I don't know why, but it just turned off. But you can still hear my voice and everything else like that. I just have to edit it and as such. But woo, this is a great game. This is a great and amazing game. Fake news to the people that were trying to say this game, if if it has issues, okay, cool, but like, oh, the story's not compelling, you won't understand, and the characters are just not, they're nothing to remember, or there's nothing about them that's just so memorizing or interesting. Screw that noise. Bump that. Get this game. If you don't have it by now, buy it. I'm out. Peace.